Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to Manifest Your Success with your holistic real estate business coach, Nydia Marrero,
Good
and
morning.
myself, Yvonne Sandoval.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday. Well, I am so glad we get this time together. I know that it's been a week. It's been a week for a lot of people.
Yes, it's been a week.
So yeah, before we started the show, we always get together and catch up and see how our weeks have been going. And you had a really interesting week when it comes to the industry and some of the news. And another word for news is noise. Some of
Right.
the noise that's coming into our ears
Hmm.
from outside people who have an agenda. I want you to talk about like some of the things you've been hearing and how those things can affect you as a professional or affect the consumer.
Yeah, so it's been a week and a lot of noise, as you say. I'm a big Instagrammer, so I don't necessarily watch the news on my TV, but the biggest news, companies, they are now also in social media. So they are constantly posting and like doing these reels to put the facts out, right? So even when I'm not looking, it just pops. So you cannot help it but listen to it, and part of being a realtor is also stay up to date with the trends, with the things going on the market. So I could not help it but to see or hear all the noise out there after the big settlement. And it's very unfortunate. I had these feelings the whole week of a little bit, I don't know, after being so many years a realtor and knowing what we do for others, for our industry, for our clients, I feel like we are paying the price for maybe a few people that didn't do things right. But the unfortunate part is that we're only listening or hearing one side of the story. And so my thoughts this week was, okay, I'm feeling a little demoralized by the media. I feel like a little bit, and I know I'm a representation of many agents out there, and I'm trying not let that bother me. But I was just telling you, like, well, sometimes you have to take a moment, and I'm a holistic coach, so I have to leave my talk, right? I have to be the example. So I cannot move forward with a negative emotion or feeling unless I acknowledge it. And that's how you clean the house, right? You have to look at the dirt first and say, okay, why is this bothering me so much, right? And so that has been my week. It's been a lot of reflection, a lot of like, okay, I know something great is going to come out of this, because we all have the ability to transform and adapt. Otherwise, we die. Either you adapt or you
Mm-hmm.
die. But at the same time, I think the news is just making this noise, and we need to acknowledge our feelings. How does that make me feel? Well, I feel anxious this week. I felt like it's kind of like, man, I wish people knew the other half of the story. And I know there's a lot of posts out there about, realtors kind of making a point. We do our valuable, we do this for buyer. But, for me, I more than ever, Yvonne, my strategy is going to be around helping buyers. And I'll tell you why. Because the first thought is, oh my God, I just want to deal with listings now that, the buyer commission is not going to be so clear to me. Well, I'm always like a warrior, like I'm aware of light. And you know what? I want my buyers out there to know that even though I know my commission may be at stake, even though there's fear around who is going to represent me and how is that going to work, how is going to, and really nobody knows until this take effect. I mean, people are talking, they're doing a lot of town halls. I get it, but the truth of the matter is that you need to sit down and analyze your own business, analyze what is being told, because it does affect the public perception,
Uh-huh.
just like we do the affirmations that counteracts our limiting beliefs. I'm gonna take the same approach. I'm gonna take out the perception, and you can do this by talking to your own personal friends. What do they feel about this whole NAR lawsuit? What is their perception about agents? Do they believe it's true, everything it's being said? Do they think we're all like bad to the economy, or like bad? Do we overcharge? I mean, what is what people are believing off of this chaos or noise? And take that as a feedback, and like take it for a moment. I get, and that's what I've been doing this week. I was like, okay, I feel demoralized, I feel a little bit anxious of what's gonna come, but I'm gonna take that energy, turn it around, shift it in a way that I'm gonna use this to transform and be the change I want to see. Because the last thing, and I guarantee you, Yvonne, that the people that I work with, no one have ever questioned, okay, I overpay you. No, because they see how hard I have worked. And I know there are many agents out there that work their ace, and
Hmm.
they do the right thing. Now, there are bad apples like anywhere, in any industry. And so we're paying the price for those, unfortunately. But this is the moment to reflect and say, okay, how do I want my business to be? What do I how can I anticipate and stay ahead of the what could be coming, and make something beautiful out of it? So the noise has affected me, yes, but I control for how long. And that is the key. That is the key to move forward and to get things, you know, get to a place where you want to be. And I can tell you now, I will not let this feeling be inside of me for too long. I'm already releasing it as we speak about it. And so I think talking is part of your healing process.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this when it comes down to it, I think that everybody has to understand, like, there's a lot of misinformation out there. And second thing is, this is we have to stress that this is a proposed settlement. The court still must accept the settlement. When two parties go into a lawsuit, and one of the parties offers a settlement instead of going to trial, what happens is that the judge will say, "Oh, the two of you have decided amongst each other an agreement. That's great, but since you're not going to go to trial, I, as the judge, or in this case, the court, can now be the one who decides, is the settlement that you come up with acceptable?" So this has not been put into law because it hasn't been reviewed by the court yet. So the court is doing that review, and this is a proposed settlement. So, let's see what the court has to say. Everybody's jumping the gun, and nothing is done until that happens. But in terms of the settlement and what has been proposed, um, it's really not a radical. The news is doing is, they need to have something to talk about, and they need to sensationalize it because they're trying to get ratings. So what they're doing is they're going to pit the consumer against the realtor, and they're going to blow that up, and that's what they do. So there's a lot of noise when it comes to the things that you're hearing on whether it's the news or Instagram or any place. Was actually, most people do get their news from social media.
Yeah.
So they're
Yes. No, and I
so
know, and even though it's not finalized, Yvonne, the thing is that the damage it's been done. Um,
it's definitely been done by the media. So what we
yeah,
need to do as professionals is take control of our industry, and we have to be the ones who are putting out the information. Attorneys get like 33% of a settlement. That's this is the thing in
and
those
that's
industry.
okay, and that's okay, right? That's okay.
Well, I think it's fair. I mean, for the work that they do, and just like it's fair that their realtor gets 6%, it's fair for the work they do. And as a matter of fact, maybe you should get more. And because the fact that now it's all they did was take it off of the MLS, so it can't be on the MLS, but you're still going to be negotiating your commission. It's just that you're not going to do it on the MLS.
Yeah.
So that was where that was what the whole gripe was, is that it was someplace on MLS, and because it said it on MLS, it appeared to be that it wasn't negotiable. So it was always negotiable. Nothing has changed. It's just it can't be on the MLS. So, and the second thing, I'm actually reading it right from NAR's website, the latest update, and it just says that NAR has also agreed to create a new rule requiring MLS participants working with buyers to enter into a written agreement with their buyers before the buyer tours a home. NAR has long encouraged the members for a very long time now to use written agreements to help the consumer understand exactly what services and value that the realtor provides and for how much. Just
Mm-hmm.
like normal businesses, we
Mm-hmm.
don't when if I'm going to sell my services to Nydia is going to need to know what they cost and what she's getting for that money. That's exactly what you need to do as a buyer's agent. You're selling your services to a person who needs to buy a home, and you're going to list what it is that that person's going to get for the fee that you're charging. It's very simple. It's very simple business practices. It's nothing different than the real world, as I call it, of anybody who's selling their services for money. So the only difference is you can't list that commission on the MLS. So nothing is really radically different. This is not like a topsy turvy place. I just think a lot of people who are realtors, they're not used to doing what people like myself who have a small business. We're totally used to having to show our value and list it and then tell the person what we charge. And we do that on our own. We don't have like a central system. Like in this case, you guys had MLS to put in that information. You don't have that. You're going to be doing that off of the MLS, which is what regular businesses do. So there's nothing's changed. There's nothing radical at all. It's just where you're going to put that information. And so I think what we need to do as professionals, because you have to remember you are licensed like through the DBPR.
Yes.
They also license real estate attorneys and doctors in the state of Florida, and those people, attorneys and doctors, also have a fee for services. They don't have a central system like an MLS to list that. So now you're going to be more like them. You're going to be more like a doctor and more like a lawyer, and you're going to have to state your value and your how much your fees are. It's totally cool. As a matter of fact, it elevates your profession. This makes you even more in a professional manner where there is no like central system like a MLS. So I think that it's all in the way that you look at things, right? The way you look at things changes the actual perspective of how you're going to run your business. So I want everyone out there to take a deep breath and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm a professional. I've been doing this for a long time.
I'm a
I just got
professional. I've been doing
right."
this for a long time.
Just like that.
We're
And
going to do it.
I won't I won't let outside factors like the media tell me what my value is, and I will not let them be my voice.
I
Do
love
not let the media be your voice.
I love
They are
that.
not your friend. they,
No,
they
I
have an
think
agenda.
I love your confidence, Yvonne, in this industry, and thank you for saying these words because I actually needed it to hear them today. Because when you are you're more outside in in the sense that you've been coaching realtors for so long, but because I'm a realtor, I think I'm more a little bit more involved and passionate about it, so sometimes you can get like a little, but no, that's 100%. I mean, I believe in your words. I need to do my affirmations to actually practice what I preach, and we're here, and I am glad that you are taking the lead on telling us as a coach, as a leader, how can we adapt and use this to our advantage. I think the ones that are going to survive and thrive in real estate are the people with the right mindset. And even the coach sometimes needs a coach. So
Oh yeah.
it's a wonderful thing that you've created with your Leverage 365 coaching group. From like all of us can actually come together to brainstorm to come out stronger. And what I love about your coaching style, Yvonne, is like it is inclusive. You do not, it doesn't matter your background or where you're at. You meet people where they are and take them where they want to go. And so that's why I'm very grateful for the opportunity. And just know that, you know, just like anything, in order to find that balance, we need to embrace the positive and the negative. Because if it's just all positive, it's not a real thing. It could be a little fakey. And if it's all, negative, it's also like it will be too dark, right? And you go in a hole. So that's why you need to make sure whoever's out there listening that you work with a coach that will bring you back to balance. When those days are gray and dark, the coach is going to bring you back to your sunshine, to your light, because we are all light. And the thing is that sometimes we are more scared of our own light than anything else. We know that we are capable, we know, and we just like go in the like, hiding mode, or like, no, we need to make sure, if you believe in yourself, you can get anything done and you will stand out from the crowd. And I think this is an opportunity as a real estate in the real estate industry to see who's going to really stand out, who's going to be resilient, who's going to move forward despite the noise and despite the comments. And I want to be the change where my friends listen to the news and they go like, well, you know what? I hear that, but then I see you, and you are the exception, right? They think I'm the exception. I'm not really the exception, but I know what they're trying to say. And it's a good feeling when you are recognized for your hard work and you're standing out from the crowd, that it could be not a true crowd, but that what the media is trying to portray, like the image of a realtor overcharging. All of a sudden they're saying that prices have gone up, or that they think the prices are going to come down because of the commission. And nothing is far from the truth. You and I
Nothing's
live
changed. Yeah, nothing's
an
nothing's changed.
open market, and what drive pricing, it's not commission, it is supply and demand. That is a basic economic concept. And this is going to be good because people are going to see that after the whole commission thing start taking effect, the prices are going to change according to supply and demand. So I think that is a wonderful thing that you had to say. And I'm grateful for this space that we can talk about it and exchange our thoughts and our feelings.
Absolutely. And when it comes down to it, the whole idea of having Nydia come into your world, into your life, is because she's going to bring that holistic balance, which means she's going to treat you mind, body, and soul. So you and your business is affected by all of that. So having the balance, when you feel off kilter, when you do see something in the news or you hear something from an outside source, she's going to bring you back to center. That's where or they call it core. When you come back to core, that's where you need to be. That's where we all reside. So we have to be very, very careful what we allow into our ears, because what goes into our ears goes into our brain. Our brain is connected to our nervous system, and our nervous system is then going to affect our entire body. So if we're hearing things that are negative, even if they are truthful, that which is fine, we still have to be able to control the narrative in
Mm,
our brain.
yes.
So have the affirmations that Nydia just will subscribe for you. Those affirmations are essential to finding your core. having the balance that is going to affect your business. So whether it's this new change, and change is scary, change is, people are fearful of change, but change is inevitable. Everything changes, the weather changes, you age, uh, everything around you is in a state of flux. What you need to do, no matter what, is hold on to your core, you center yourself, and always come back to the affirmation that you know to be true. And those are the affirmations that you'll work on with Nydia as your coach.
Yes. Thank you
So
so much.
you're welcome. Regardless of what's going on in the industry, you will persevere. You will go and you will be plentiful if you decide you want to be.
And I want to close with one affirmation that I came across this morning when I woke up, and that was a perfect for me. And I hope if someone's listening and you can say it out loud, I hope your day goes as change as much as my day did when I say it, because it literally affects the brain and how you see things during the day. So the affirmation goes like this: I celebrate all the greatness in my life. I celebrate all the greatness in my life.
I
And
love
that
it.
puts you back into, we are already perfect and we have everything we need to succeed. The question is, what is it that you're looking for? What do you want to accomplish? And then you go work off of that, knowing that you are enough and that you have everything available to you right now to be successful and to manifest anything.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you so much. And with everyone, take that affirmation, utilize it. Um, Make sure that you're being positive, because only positive will beget positivity. Negative will get you negative energy. We don't want that in your business or your life. So we wish you a wonderful weekend. Enjoy, rest, recuperate, re energize, and we will see you again next week on Manifest Your Success with your holistic business coach, Nydia Marrero. See you soon.
Thank you. See you soon.